Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're working on the DECT program. It's designed to take pictures of index cards and treat them like online index cards, and we'll see where we go from there. We've got some work done to do the vision part, to take an existing picture. Oh, I've got something on. Well, sorry about that. All right, so it's what we have done so far is you can take an existing photo and run the vision analyzer on it, and it identifies at least most of the cards on the screen. And we did the work to linearize that so that it goes in row order. So first row, second row, third row, left to right within the row, and turns that into a list of cards. Let's go to the IDE. We can see things better there. Okay, so I just ran the tests. Everything's good. Let me commit. I guess I didn't do that last commit the other day. Move. Well, what were we doing? We were trying to make it so that the arrangement, we called it deck before, the arrangement notifies things properly. So I'll just say it that way. Make arrangement a public an observable object. Okay. Well, I'm hoping my mic sounds better today. I'm hoping my voice sounds better today. I'm hoping the internet's a little more stable today, or whatever was going on the other day. We'll see how it goes. All right. So the tests have run. Let's run this. I think I had it. I don't know if we're okay. So you have an image. You click go. It highlights them, and then it does them left to right and then top down. So user starts turn. Player scores an open category. User starts turn. Player scores an open category. Yacht, 5 of a kind. Okay. So those are the cards. Story cards for a Yahtzee game, kind of game. The original game was called Yacht, that Yahtzee picked up, the commercially trademarked one. But the basics are similar. So anyway, we have all these cards, and where we left off, we were just starting to do delete, which is pretty easy to trigger, but oh, now it's going to be bizarre. Okay. Maybe we did enough to make it work. I don't know. That seems pretty good. All right. Well, I took some notes, and maybe there's no need. Maybe where we left off was okay. The last thing we did was when we marked this published. I don't know if we even ran any tests or anything after that. So published says this thing monitors itself, so maybe we don't need all that other stuff. I think I had to introduce it last time because there was some indirection, like an object containing objects. If an object held an observable object, that sort of two-layer notification doesn't happen. So I think that's what my notes were about. But yeah, that seems okay. Let's see what we tested there. Okay, so to make this thing deletable, it's really pretty straightforward. You say on delete, perform some method. And delete items, we just said delegate it to the arrangement, tell it to delete the items at those offsets. I want to make sure we have a test for that. Arrangement tests. Update. I don't think we did a delete. Okay. Yeah, let's we sort of cheated in a way. Well, what we did, I tend to do TDD on the model objects and not so much on the view objects. In this case, the view code migrated back into the model, and so it never picked up a test, which is not really legit, right? So let's at least backfill the test for this, and we can make it pretend if we need to. Okay, so arrangement tests. We checked that updating a deck. What does that even mean? Start with an empty deck. Do an update. Add an item with these coordinates. What does update mean? Well, update creates the card from the image based on those bounds and resorts the cards. I don't know. What is that doing? That's not even the one I'm trying to test. It's lined up a little better here. Okay. I'm not sure I like the word update. It seems more like append or add. So let's split a screen. I know there's a way to do that. Do I just drag it? No. Ugh. You're doing side by side comparison. Okay. Arrange. No. Is this? Yes. Okay, there's arrangement. Let's lock that in here. Arrangement tests. Okay. I don't even know. Yeah, I just don't know what this thing means. A update says give it an image in rectangles. It assigns cards. Arrangement row sort identified rectangles. Map them to cards. I don't know. It just sounds odd to me. Who calls it? No. Arrangement. Content vehicles update. Okay, so the Go button calls the rectangle finder. For each rectangle, it tells the update arrangement to update source image and identified rectangles. And arrangement.update basically sorts identified rectangles dot map. So it maps each rectangle and update gives in the source image and the set of all identified rectangles and then forms them into cards here and then sorts them according to those rectangles, individual rectangles. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's make sure delete deletes. Okay, so function test delete eliminates items. Well, we can admit that they're cards. Okay. We'll make an arrangement. I don't really have a way to insert, do I? I'm passing in that big image with a bunch of rectangles, but I don't have any way to add an individual card. All right. Well, I'm going to say arrangement. I didn't do my research on playing card games. I know there's a name for the way you arrange a board. Okay, but we'll just start with empty. I don't think I need that either. Okay, so we're going to create an empty arrangement. Aren't you arrangement tests? And don't you reference it up there? Okay. I guess I got to spell it consistently. Okay. Okay, we're going to do an arrangement. Let's do an update. Do we have an empty? We have an image. And let's give it one. Let's give it this. Well, we can do this whole thing, I guess. Arrangement. We added one. I'll do the same thing here. I'll just assert. This is kind of a setup assert. Make sure it's got one card in there. Excuse me, arrangement cards count should be equal to 1. I guess I really did lose a brace there, didn't I? Okay, now if, sorry, Okay, if I do a delete, arrangement.delete at, and then I need some offsets. Enter 0. Okay, then I should be cards count should be 0. I don't think I like that so much. Let's go ahead and put 2 in here and delete number 1. That's the CG rect. We'll make another CG rect. All right, and I guess I'll make another one too. All right, we'll just change it slightly. 10, 20, 30, 10, 30, 40, 60. Okay, Now I should have 3. If I remove 1, the count should be 2. Okay. I think it'll pass. I'll take it out and make sure it did, and then go from there. Okay. And if we had not written this line of code, let's make sure it fails. Okay, it's a little backwards from TDD, but okay. And then we certainly trust that this will work this time. Okay, see what the problem was. Okay. Okay, so we added arrangement.delete and push. All right, and then what I'd like to do, this name update bugs me. I'm gonna say add all. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait on that. Add rectangles. Add. Let's rename it to add. It's at least a variation of an add. Actually, really, it's replace right now. Okay, because I'm replacing whatever I have for cards, I'm replacing it with this arrangement built on this image in these rectangles. Okay, we'll live with that. So just refactor, rename, update to replace in arrangement. Okay, and what did our to-do say we're doing? Let's take a look at that again. Make cards be published. Okay. Update them when they change. I think that's all true. All right, we'll take credit for it today, even though it probably mostly happened last time. All right. 20. Valentine's Day tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Actually, this is make cards be published so they update when they change. All right. That's good. What? Like I've gotten into some weird mode. No selection. Okay. Am I? Oh. There we we go. Okay. This is some notes. This is some notes. I'll take these cancelable notes out. But it's a similar thing and a question. This one came from Stack Overflow, I think. But the bottom line of it is, if you need to make it, this one in the example, they were updating it whenever any tally changed. But you create this list of cancellables. You make the object itself has a publisher. You tell it map anything to object will change, and then you basically tell it to send object will change.send whenever something changes, and you hold those notification things in cancellables. And this is all part of that Swift UI update. When you change a publishable object, it's basically tells kind of a flag basically that says, this object is going to change. And then when the front end finishes calling all the back end stuff, it says, did anybody change? And if they did, then it figures out how to redraw that stuff. All right, but let's get back to, we had some features. List of cards, scroll to move between them. We've done that. Okay, let's flip a card and write or type on the back. Manage cards, move them around, delete them, stacks. Okay, so kind of more and more sophisticated things. Where's our deck? Let's see, we have an image for this. Sample. Is it up here? No. Let's get that one locked in. Okay, he's kind of as important as the to-do. Can I zoom? Yeah. All right, take photo. Well, I'm just taking an existing photo because I'm more interested in other things at this point. I pretty much trust that I can convince it to take a photo and analyze a new one instead of an old one. Edit the card, select the original or the edited, put the cards in a list, scroll and delete. We've got that. In order, we have at least one variation of that. Yeah, now we get to the interesting one to me. Take a new photo and extract the cards, and then consolidate identical cards. Okay. Well, maybe we need to make selecting a photo be slightly more sophisticated. What can we do? Well, one thing is we could start having a model of the photos. I don't know. Like, I'm imagining version 1 of this is kind of like take the same photo, reanalyze it, match things up, consolidate. And version 2 or 0.002 is do that with a new photo. But maybe I can start with a list of photos instead of this opening screen. Maybe you have a list of photos and your job is to select one. You select one. When you say go, it adds it to the list, adds it to the arrangement. I don't know. Maybe I need a selector. Maybe I should just deal with these photos. That's so hard to know. Well, let's see what we have. We have another photo, Yacht 1 and Yacht 2. Okay, Yacht 2. I think I was going back and forth about should I arrange these in columns or rows. And so this one is arranged more in columns. The first one, Yacht 1, is arranged in rows. So this has basically the same cards. I'm not sure it's 100%, but basically the same cards rearranged. So if I fed this picture in, I would like it to realize that the yacht card is the yacht card and the game start is the game start and so on. Let's... Maybe I can get by with a list of names. Like up here, maybe we put a drop down of all the images we know about. And eventually there's going to be a little camera button to take a new one, or else there's probably a camera list kind of thing, that some sort of widget that knows how to take a picture or select it from existing photos. But somehow you select one of those, it shows up here, you hit go, and then it does its thing. All right, so let's work on that. And this is, I don't know, maybe we should do a little research here. Okay. 5 minutes for a research spike. Okay. So the research is, let's see, I guess it's like iOS Swift UI. Take camera image. I don't know. Need to take a picture. Swift UI using the photo library and camera with the image picker. That sounds like the kind of thing we want to do. I don't know if this is a paid site. I can't remember. UI view representable, UI this, UI that. That's all old stuff. Okay, image picker. Ads. Okay. We'll create an image picker. Right click. How about a picture? Show library image button. To use the image picker, attach the sheet modifier to the VStack. Okay, well, this is promising. All right, I guess the story we're going to work on is something like take or select an image. I don't know, take sounds funny, doesn't it? Take an image. Take a picture or select an image. Okay, I think that's probably more accurate. All right, they're doing presented. Oh, I think they're back to the old UI kit, which is really I'd like to avoid. UI image picker controller. Well, maybe it's not. All right, let's find another example. Building a camera app with Swift to combine. Yeah. Well, one thing is the simulator can't use the camera, so there's something funny going on. Okay. UI image picker controller. All right. Again, with hacking with Swift, looks like a great. It's been a great site for us. I know he has some paid things. I don't think I've done anything with this stuff other than use what he's published out here. Make your view controller. Oh, it's not really a Swift UI kind of way. But UI image picker controller is the UI kit, the old UI framework. It's their image picker thing that probably lets you take a picture. Yeah, how to choose a photo from a camera roll. Right. Okay. And what else do we have? Switch and combine. I think I have a subscription, so I'm not sure if this is. I'm not signed in, so I guess we're seeing the public stuff. All right, that seems fair. Manage the camera. Oh, yeah, there's the note. The app requires access to the camera. You need to run it on a real device. The simulator won't do it. Okay, well, they got a lot going on there. All right, nice to know it exists. Switch UI custom camera view. Well, someone provides this. Sheet, custom camera view. I think it's gonna, oh, AV capture. Okay. Well, it looks like we got two ways to get to the camera. One is this AV view, and then we had UI image view picker or something like that. But here you can see UI view controller. They're basically wrapping the UI view stuff, the UI kit stuff. Okay, working like a charm. Well, that's a promising attitude. It looks like a lot of stuff here. All right, any other candidates here? Taking photos with camera and app. Let's try this one. Okay, Swift UI camera. Camera services, AV Foundation. I really don't want to capture, I really would rather be the image picker that lets you take pictures. Okay. AV capture device. I mean, this is taking a real picture now, and I can't really test it on the simulator. I hope I have the cable here to do that. For real life, if we try it that way. Video preview. That's all just fancier than I want. Zooming is simple. Okay. I mean, this may be something we need at some point, but I think for now, I don't want to mess with it. Okay. Well, that concludes our 5-minute spike. A little bit of research showing that you can get to the photo library. I think for now, I'm going to be simplistic, and I'm just going to put a little drop down up here with options of existing photos. In the medium term, I'll probably go to the camera roll and find them. For now, they're just going to come from my list of samples here. All right, and I'm going to say when you click go, which we can change the name of, we're going to say add those images, add cards. All right, that seems easy to start with. Okay, content view. Excuse me. I'm just looking for go. Let's rename that to add cards. Okay. Now that tells me our update is mislabeled, right? I wasn't favoring it before. I'm really not now. Okay, add cards. That's kind of better. All right, those are the cards I added. In the long run, again, there's probably a step in the middle where we decide if we caught the right rectangles. Excuse me. All right, before we go, then I think what we need to do is make that really add cards. Add cards instead of replacing them. Okay. And that comes back to arrangement. We named the function replace because that really seemed to better capture what was going on. Have I messed up some code somewhere? No, he's just behind. Okay. All right. Arrangement. So replace I'm finding myself confused as usual. Okay. If you tell me replace the existing cards with these cards, okay, that seems reasonable. Um, if you say card add, maybe this just doesn't belong here. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't want to introduce too many entities, all layers of introducing cards, but um, I think Astrid complained about this not last time, but a couple times ago. Like we don't want the card knowing the big rectangle, and in a way, I think maybe we don't want the deck knowing the big rectangle. Maybe I'll learn my lesson at some point. I think what this should do is say I'm going to give you a bunch of cards, and you may add them. Well, I need to tell you what to do with them, but in this case, I think what we want to do is just add them to whatever cards we have. Okay, so row sort is going to have to be done, but what's it sorting? Well, I think cards should be its own thing. Okay, so where's the stuff coming? Well, identified rectangles.map to card.image of rectangle. This piece to here to here. Let's pull that back. What I want to say is give me a bunch of cards. Okay, let's do it that way. Let's do this sort of parallel implementation. If I said function add and you gave me a bunch of cards, then I would do some stuff. Okay. Well, what am I going to do? If you don't like public, that's fine. Unnamed parameters must be written. Oh yeah. You didn't like the way I did it. Okay. All right. So if I think this is the function we should be calling, it's going to do add. It's going to take a bunch of cards. It's going to assign them or add them to the end. Cards dot append new cards. Okay, so if you no exact matches in call to instance method append. New cards dot. No. What's the issue there? Cards dot append items in this immutable cards. Make sure I'm consistent here. Okay, they are cards dot append contents of sequence. Contents of new cards. Okay, I'm not helping myself here. Okay. Okay, I thought this was going to be pull stuff out. And that's not what I'm doing, is it? Okay, let's try this. So okay, I appear to be able to replace the cards. And down here we change the cards, so I should be able to add to the cards. Can I not say cards dot append contents of adds the elements of a sequence to the end of the array, adds the element of a sequence to the end of the collection. Okay, all sounds good. Cards dot append contents of what does it return? Cards dot append contents of. Okay, let's try this one. Contents of contents of something. Okay, contents of this. No exact matches in reference. Okay, there it goes. Now let's go see it. Jump to definition. A mutating function appends S removes and returns the element. Adds the elements of the sequence to the end of the array. Use them to add them to the end of the array. Yes. These elements up arrange int. Okay. Append contents of new elements. Some sort of complexity. Okay. Now, the other one we called was delete, right? Remove. Remove. Remove at. We used remove offsets. Let's see what's this. Swift UI collection. Well, that's singularly unhelpful. Cards.remove. definition. Yeah. I'm kind of a built-in thing. I don't know. Where am I? Lost. Okay, so my wish is I wish replace took a list of cards. Okay, so we're supposed to take a break once in a while. Let's do that now. We'll come back, and this code in here I will pull out and pass in as cards, and then use that here, and then we'll switch it over to being more of an add than a replace. All right, so 2 or 3 minute break, and we'll pick up from there. Can I put us on break here? Not really. Okay. See you in a couple. All right, welcome back. Okay, so our goal was we would like to um, pass in a bunch of cards instead of the image in rectangles. All right, so this is kind of a neat little way to do the refactoring. It's to basically we kind of wish it into existence. It's going to be nothing of cards of type array of card. Okay, now nobody references this parameter. Well, except for this garbage I put in there earlier. Let's take that out. Okay, can I use mutating members? That cards as a left. Oh, we may have to do something about that, but that's irrelevant now. Okay, the only thing. What have I done? Maybe I just need to make card public. It's certainly a reasonable class to use. And we haven't addressed should this thing be a value struct instead, but okay, let's save that. Okay. Now all this stuff's going to break down here. Oh, so we didn't really, we did some things a little bit. Okay. There we go. That one's doing better. How's this doing? I'm not sure why cards here is complaining. Cards is a let constant. Fix self.cards. Okay, is that better? No, I don't see why. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Correct a couple things. But what I have here is this unused variable cards. Anybody who calls this should be complaining. So let's build tests, run tests, and somebody certainly should be complaining about this content view. Okay, here's replace. He wants cards. Okay, so we're just going to put some empty cards in. Okay, and if I run tests again, now there should be a test that complains. Okay, missing parameter. All right. And I'll just stick that here, and same thing here. Okay. Now I've got this unused parameter that it's fine. We can work with it. Okay. Well, except for one problem. Okay, I think I've messed up something. Published var cards. It's a var. What have we done? Oh, maybe I just set a breakpoint at some point. delete breakpoint, and continue. Okay, let's try it again. Get this thing smoothed out a bit. Okay, so now we have this unused array cards. What we want to do at this point is like make anybody who wants to pass, to work with replace, I want them to give me a list of real cards. They can still give me the image and all that stuff if they want to, but I want the real cards as well. And who is going to make these images? Well, sorry, these cards. Let's go to content view. That was one place. Okay, so here we don't have real cards. We just have an empty array. So we're going to go through and fix all the call sites first, and then we'll work on the interior of the method. Okay. Everything should keep working the whole time because nobody's really using this stuff. But once we start, then it's going to be a little iffier. Okay, maybe I can push it out. Let's do it a little different. Let's say let the cards equal this. Okay, so there are the cards, one per thing, and close that closure. Okay, they're not used yet. Okay, so map. Identified rectangle map. Rectangle in, yeah, okay, so we're using that. For every rectangle passed in here, take the image and the bounds and the rectangle, make the bounds and build that into a card. So this thing, the type is going to be array of cards. Option click, array of cards. Okay, now in here, instead of identified rectangles.map, that row sort, what's row sort going to take? Well, for now, we just take the cards, okay, because I'm just catching it up to what it was. All right. I think I just got an extra brace per end in there. Okay, so here we're not using cards still, but I'm saying anybody who wants to, if you want to see what the cards are, build them up here. It's an array of cards, and then sort them on that. Now, what's the problem down here? I've gotten unbalanced. Okay, identified rectangles.map goes to there, that goes to there, that goes to there. Those seem okay. Replace. This is the closing for the method. Okay. All right, let's see if that looks right. Okay, so find the cards based on the identified rectangles and the images, and then use them in the arrangement row sort. Okay, that should all pass. Okay, now I want to make, well, I want to push the work out to the caller. So you should give me an array of cards. All right, and this code will do that for content view. Okay, so we got the rectangles. Let's say let something equal rectangle finder, rectangles in. You got the rectangles, you got the image, source image. let's say let cards equal this stuff. Identified rectangles.map with source image dot crop to the rectangles. Okay, we've referenced them, initialized them. Okay, using the code that we used down below in the arrangement class. Okay, we got a bunch of cards, an array of cards. Let's check the type. Array of card. Now this thing should be using those cards. All right, so we find them there and then use them. We just changed content view, which is untested, so let's run it. Okay. I'm rushing through to get to something I want, and I know I'm putting off some things I should be doing, but let's keep going. All right, so when I click add cards, what should happen is the caller computes the cards, but we're using them the same way. Oh, let's make sure they're all here. Yep. All right. Okay, I think we're over the worst of that. All right, so now I've got one call site that's handing in a real set of cards. I need to find those other call sites again. I think they're all in the test. So let's go to arrangement tests. Okay, so here's one. It doesn't really need to do this stuff. All right, let's pull out the image. Okay, so let image equals this. Okay, so we got the image is yacht1.image or JPEG, and the cards. Well, let's borrow that same code again. Let the cards be identified rectangles. Well, that identified rectangles is really this CG rect thing. Array. I'll straighten out the extra. Let identified rectangles rectangles equal this. We don't need the word image there. Okay, so these are the rectangles we supposedly get. Then we're going to turn them into cards. The rectangles map to card whatever. Okay, and now cards should be going in here. The cards. Okay, so that site should be okay with it. And then the other place we had it is this one. Do we care? Let me pull this out to the top. It's really I don't think we care about that one. I think this will serve us for all of them. Okay. Let's run. All right. Now, I think we have one more place that's using the update call. All right, yeah, here we go. So update changes the images. All right, so we've got the image. This is really just image. And this card is card with image.crop bounds rectangle, comma, rectangle. And rectangle equals this. Okay, so we build up a rectangle, and then we're going to use that. Okay, we're going to use that rectangle in the card, taking its bounds and applying it to image and rectangle. So I think everything should pass. Right, great. Okay, so we've got cards is being populated at all the call sites correctly, we believe, and we've also been past the image and the rectangles and used them here, okay? But now I'm going to say I'm going to believe the last parameter instead of building up something from the first two, okay? So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to sort the cards you gave me instead, okay? And if all the call sites are right, and have populated things, then everything should still be working. So run tests. All right, and we'll run the whole thing. I think we maybe did after the first one, but just in case. Add cards, look at the cards, all looks good. All right, so now our replace function is past image and doesn't use it. It's past identified rectangles and doesn't use it. So let's take out those first two parameters. All right, there should be a bunch of complaints. Well, we know where they're going to be, right? They're going to be here. Replace does not need this stuff. It only wants the card image. Isn't this so much nicer? Okay, here's another replace. Doesn't need the image, doesn't need the rectangles, as long as it's got the cards. Okay, replace, that's got a card, and content view. All right, well, we know content view built up these cards, and so this does not need that either. Okay, I think that's all three places. Let's run tests. Nice. Okay. So we made, I guess it's a refactoring, right? We made update take cards instead of image plus rectangles. Okay. All right, now I want to change the behavior now. So let's go back to arrangement. Okay, so today we call it replace. We would like to make this really be add. And so I should not just replace the cards. I should add them. Okay, I'm going to change this name to new cards just to avoid confusion, since I think I was already confused once by it. New cards. Okay, so we today now we deal with the new cards, sort them, and set the cards list to be just that. Okay, I think I had to add this self because I was mucked up. All right. And just a quick test there. Okay. I trust if you looked at the thing, you would know what we're talking about there. All right. Yeah, so this should be an add, meaning if you added cards and then you added some more cards, it should be the whole list of all the cards you added. All right, I think this is a good step towards this new loading in a second card thing. All right, let's test. Yeah, this one, well, it checks that you put it in. Okay, let's check that you really add them. Okay, so I think we'll do the same thing. And I don't know, I'm just going to say adding cards. All right, so we have an arrangement. We have some cards. I'm not going to do this assertion. We've already done the equivalent. I'm going to change this name to add. Okay. And adding cards, if you start with deck.add, if I do it twice, I should have two cards. All right. The fact that they overlap position, we don't care. They're separate cards. It's fine. All great, but this function, this test is going to fail. At least I hope. All right, good. Hopefully saying it only has one. Yeah, so the way the add is now, it replaces the set of cards. So we just took an empty list, replaced it with a list of one card, and then replaced it with a list of another card. And we don't want to replace. Okay, so let's do cards dot append contents of new cards. Okay, and sort is going to sort the cards. All right, so this should, I believe that should pass. Right, good. Okay. So we've shifted from replacing cards to adding cards. All right, so that's a behavior change. Shift from replacing the cards to adding the next set of cards. And let's run it. And I think we're going to see visibly new behavior now. Okay. All right. If I say add cards, I get the list, yacht, and so on, as expected. If I go back and I say add cards, the old one would have replaced those cards. The new one, I expect two cards. I expect yacht, yacht, user starts, etc. Okay, it's already a longer list. Yacht, yacht, user starts, user starts. Okay, because I added the same cards, but they had positions, and so when it did the row sort, it put them in, next to each other. Okay, that is a step forward. All right, I'm happy about that one. It doesn't look so useful, but it lets us move. Okay, so I don't know what. Okay, we can test the next story with this then. All right, where's that decked? There we go. All right, so consolidate identical cards. Take new photo and extract cards. Well, I'm not going to worry about a new photo yet. I'm just going to skip that one and lets you select the same photo twice. And what I would really love is that when you select, when you hit that add photos twice, that it adds them and then realizes like, oh, wait a minute, these are the same photos. Um, I shouldn't I shouldn't include them twice. Okay, let's hide you. What are we saying? Add cards instead of replacing them. Yes, we've done that. Okay, and now I want to say treat near identical cards as the same card. Okay, that changes this. Now, identical is kind of not really the case, right? Because in real life, two pictures of the same card are going to be different. I mean, you're going to have the camera's going to be at a slightly different angle, or the position will be slightly different, or the color will be slightly different, or whatever. There's going to be differences. The skews, you know, how much you've bent your rectangles or whatever. All right. So when you say add cards, okay, how am I going to find these identical cards? That's really the question. Given a set of cards, if I add a card to it, I want to, I guess I got to scroll through the set of cards and decide which one is there a close match? And I don't care about the position, right? Because if you took two photos, maybe you intentionally rearranged them. Now, whether we should keep the old or the new, that's another question I'll get to. But you certainly don't want to treat them as different cards just because they're rearranged. That's definitely part of our domain. Cards have persistence. Okay. All right. The thing I'm pausing on, and maybe it's premature, but it's going to have to do this vision recognition thing, image mapping, matching. I think I took a note here somewhere about that. Cropped cameras, rectangles. Well, I know somewhere we looked and saw there is an image similarity stuff in the vision package. If I roll in a new photo and I say match it up against all the existing photos, right? It's going to have to kind of like go through each photo and say, are you a match? All right. And if you take a list of in and a list of n, you got kind of an n squared thing going on. Unless you can find quick ways to say it's not. Now there's, I mean, the image similarity stuff has got the responsibility of that, but I don't know if that's going to be too slow. But I guess the thing I can do, well, one thing is adding a bunch of cards should be the same as adding a card at a time, right? So let's extract method on this. Or let's refactor it, I guess. So I'm going to say new cards dot, is it a map? Well, I'm supposed to get some help here. New cards dot append contains. I think it's just maybe for each. I don't have a for each. I do. Okay, new takes a body. All right, let's just take cards dot append. I'm just breaking out the append new element $0. Okay, so instead of this nice fast append operator that appends the whole sets of things, I'm saying what I want you to do to add a list of cards is add each card one at a time to the cards array. And at the end, I will sort them all and work that part out. Okay, now I think I can, I'll extract a method for this. Cards.append $0. Well, let's see if we can extract that as a method. Okay. I'm going to say add. $0 is like a really bad name there, but can I rename that? No, he's going to go insane first. Yeah, okay. This is a card, and this is a card. Okay, so when I say sometimes you find bugs in refactoring, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. They happen sometimes, so we've got to pay attention no matter what. But there, instead of making a generic name and using it, it used the $0 name that only makes sense within a closure. Okay, not a biggie, but just, one of those things. All right, this should all be the same. Okay. So let's think about our test. I guess it's an arrangement test. We add cards. I would like to test that adding a near match doesn't change arrangement. Okay, so let's take this rectangle. Okay, we got a rectangle. And we got the image. So I'm going to add, it's so near of a match, it's identical basically. All right, let's make a card. This. All right, we've got a card. And now if I say arrangement, and I'll just read that. I don't know, deck's a good word. It's not a deck. What is that word? Ah. Usually you think of these things too late, but you think of them. It's just not there. All right. Anyway, I got an arrangement. I got a card. I do arrangement dot add the card. Okay, I don't really need him file private anymore. Okay, cannot convert value to, yep, okay. If I add the same thing twice, then I expect arrangement dot cards dot count to be equal to 2 to 1. Okay, that's the surprise. All right, and this should fail because right now we just add them no matter what. Okay, but this kind of helps define the add we have. All right, and failed 2 is not 1. All right, that's a good sign. Okay, who owns near enough? Okay, so what we want to do is in here, we want to say if card is similar to anything in the deck, then ignore it, otherwise add it. So this is kind of a set. It's a bit of a fuzzy set, maybe. Well, that's kind of predefined, but it's it's a bit of a approximate set. Okay, let's take another break, a couple minutes again, and we'll come back and see what we can do about this similarity matching. All right, see you in 2. We need to do some research. I'm like really sure we saw this. iOS Vision Approximate Image Match. That's all a little too much. Face recognition. My search is not doing what I wanted. Let's find that vision. Let's try iOS Vision Image Map. That's promising. That's promising. And that's something. Okay, this is kind of what we used before. Well, face rectangles, but That sounds promising. Wow, interesting. Regions most likely to draw attention. All right, that was the best one. Image similarity. I don't know. Let's find what we did before. What's that rectangle finder code we had? Okay. Feed an image request handler, detect rectangles request.
Watch your fingers. Watch your fingers.
Okay, so this stuff we used to find the rectangles. Okay. Well, maybe that's just not enough. Still not done. That seems closer. All right, that's more or less what we did. Okay. Request. That's kind of generic. Feature print observations. Feature print observations. Okay. Compute distance between features. I guess that's what we want. Feature point data. Okay, let's take a look at that. That's kind of useless. Okay. Data types. Maybe that's a little better. Enum. That's really not what I expected. Size of a feature print element. So it's going to be like 64 bits or it's an int. Don't tell you what kind it is or what values. Okay. Compute distance. This is on feature print observation. I don't know. Okay. I got turkeys out back today. Okay. um, no, that doesn't sound like what we're after. For it does, but it's more than I want to do. I really thought I saw something that said this was like a built-in vision thing. I'm not really clear what those features exactly meant. Um, okay, feature tracking. Hmm. Let's look at this article again. So, what are you giving? Well, okay. Okay, it's some sort of observation. So, I mean, this appears to be you got an observation and you compute the distance to another observation feature print. How do you decide which ones to compare? I don't know what these observations are. VN feature print observation. All right, so we're kind of back in a spike mode here. Let's um, where's our rectangle finder? This method that doesn't return anything somehow returns false. Okay, that's a little disconcerting. An observation that provides all the contours. Wait, what? I think I lost something. Oh, contours observation. So let's go to the top of this one then. Maybe he's got a horizon. Okay, this one has no description. The type, no. I mean, contours is pretty cool looking, but I don't know. It doesn't seem recognized points. I don't see human rectangle detection request. Okay. Oh, this got the wrong screen. Okay. Oh dear. I was all excited because I thought we had seen this somewhere, but I'm not seeing anything obviously about it. Let's try again. iOS image match. What if I say VN with that? One more page and we'll see. Text. I mean, there's definitely cool stuff for not a whole lot of work, but I just feel like there should be something more straightforward for what we're doing. All right, I'm not going to let that go. iOS 15, that's not even here, I don't think. I don't know. Oh, I've been wanting this one for years. All those Zoom calls. Okay. This does not look like it's the level we want to deal with. There must be better image text recognition than I was seeing there. Okay, that's interesting. But VN recognized text request. Well, let me mark that as an interesting article, but no, it's irrelevant to us today. I guess I'm still back here. Feature print similarity. Generate a feature print to compute distance between images. Image feature print request. Generate feature prints. I wish they would define that somewhere. I mean, I guess it's just data. Maybe I just plug it and go. I'll get some results. Where's my? What's this one? Feature print observations. I get a bunch of observations. It gives me some data and a bunch of elements, and then I don't know what the element types are, but I compare it to another feature print observation. Okay, let's try playing with that. Okay, let's try this example. Make VN feature print observation conform. No, I don't care about that. This, I don't care, super fast. A few seconds would be kind of amazing. Enough. Okay, we see generate feature print request. That's the kind of thing we're going to do. Okay, well, that's maybe enough of a hint. It's something like the request we did before, VN image request handler. In here, I added that. Okay. Can I show this? I don't think I have any. Okay. VN detect rectangles request, and we handed that to a VN image handler with an image and options. And then we perform it with the list of requests. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? So, in effect, well, this failing test is something. Let's fix that, and then we'll wrap. Okay. Should be that test down here. All right. For now, let's say let's have this thing look for 1. See that test. Okay. And in here, did I change that back? I certainly meant to. Should be 2. Okay. Yeah, should pass. All right. Let's compare. Oops. All right, so we extracted an add method, and that's kind of all we did. Okay, extracted add card method for arrangement. All right, so next time let's take it. Okay, one thing is that. Another one is this VN generate feature print request. Use this and these observations. I think what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to grab. How about store the feature? Let's just say FPO, like the cool kids, right? Store the FPO with the card. Use it later for determining similarity. Okay, so my assumption is when you do this request, you're getting back some array, or well, it's a data. Okay, so it's got some data. It could be anything. We don't know what it is, but it comes back with, for this image, here's the data I can use to compare it to other images. It's probably some combination of contours or colors or who knows what. And we can store that for each card. And then when you want to match a new card, you just say, hey, compare your feature print observations. And if you're similar enough, we will accept you as being the same image. And if you're different, then we're going to say you're different. And that should, hopefully, that's the way that works. It's a little bit of a spike in real code, I think, is what we're going to do, because I don't really know that that's exactly how this thing works, but we'll give it a shot that way. And if that doesn't work, well, we'll see how important that feature is. It can be done manually. We got humans are good at this. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today. Next week is very iffy. I don't know if I'll be able to do a session on Friday or not. And if I do, if it'll be at the normal time or possibly earlier. And I'm definitely not going to be able to do next Sunday. But the following week, I expect to be back on normal hours again. All right. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to catch you in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.